Hello. Hi, everyone.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining us and adding the glitter and glamour through the room.
Welcome to India. Welcome to Mumbai, Michael.
Thank you,
You
sir.
were out grabbing some Indian food. Enjoy it.
Some Indian food?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like in the morning, I just show up. Like we did it yesterday. Just go to breakfast, and whatever they bring, I'm just going to eat it. It's all good.
Yeah, too sad we don't have you guys here for too long, but, you know, I hope you guys enjoy the stay.
Shakun's a very good cook. The next time you come, he should make some parathas for you.
Right on.
I might be a cook, but I've never made parathas. just for the know. Yeah, okay. Michael, you are playing Kiki Kamarena, and
Yep.
you know he's had huge contribution in the war on drugs. Tell us about your attachment to the show. When Eric came to you with the story, had you already seen the show?
So I think me and Eric spoke about 3 years ago, and I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't watch Narcos. Like I've told some of you guys, it's because you know, my son was 6, so I watched Pixar and, you know, Toy Story like 50 times, and I watched a lot of those almost by heart. And then after we had a great meeting, I watched 2 episodes. I remember that night, and I thought, wow, they captured Latin America better than most movies. And then I binge watched the first season. When the second season came out, binge watched that one. And then it's great that that's my research. And then I watched season 3 like a month before we started filming.
So you went from Ant-Man to Narcos. That's quite a shift in headspace.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I blame Narcos and you guys for my binge addiction now. Now I'm in the world of binge watching. I need.
Like all of us. Diego, tell me about your research, because I hear, unlike Pablo, Felix kept a pretty low profile and was sort of held back. There's not much footage that we have of him. So is that an advantage that you get to kind of create your own perspective, or tell us a little bit about your research?
Yeah, well, it was. There's a period of time where he really liked to be on the newspaper, but he wanted to be seen more as a businessman. So he would be in the social part of the newspapers, like in the opening of these, and
Correct.
He had hotels, he had restaurants, but it was difficult to find images of his intimate world, you know. While many of these characters are very flamboyant and this guy knew, I guess, the value on being discreet, you know, in this world. And he's also kind of like well, I believe he's a different kind of drug dealer. He's a trafficker that is willing to leave everything behind and sacrifice everything, you know. You have this idea of the drug dealer that is born in a little town, and when he makes tons of money, he builds the biggest and most horrible house in the town, and then he just like fixes the plaza and fixes the church, and you know, and this guy left Culiacan and went to Guadalajara to build his empire because he saw an opportunity there. And if it was somewhere else, he would have gone, I'm sure. I think spending so much time near the governor of Sinaloa made him a little bit like a politician, you know, the kind of guy that is willing to say whatever you want to hear to get what he wants. You know, these people that are great liars and very charming, and till you realize you have nothing else in your
con
pockets,
artists,
and
yeah.
they're gone. Yeah. So I think it was interesting to find out that I had to read a lot of the news and a lot of the commentaries of other people on him to understand who he was, you know.
And Michael, what about your research?
Well, I was also like reading a lot. Like I read, you know, Wikipedia and everything that I could find on Google. I read the Time magazine thing, and I wasn't really getting a real gist of what made him tick. You know, like what motivated somebody to actually put himself in harm's way in order for him to accomplish what he thought is justice. But I did have a bit more understanding when I talked to Mika. Camarena, and you understand, I had just, you know.
That's his wife.
That's his wife,
Right.
sorry. And so I had just done, you know, Ant-Man, which is like, you know, the guy wants to be likable, wants to love everybody. He's a lovable dude. He thinks he is. And this one, it was different. It was a person that was just fed up with the injustices, especially when he was looking at it, and he can point it and point out the injustices and see that the police were involved, the local police, the federal police, and then politicians, and then the government, and nobody was doing anything about it. Everybody was turning, you know, a blind eye to it, and he got fed up with it. And then I think that's what motivated him, and also him trying to persuade people that this thing is happening, and they wouldn't believe him when it was out in plain sight. And I think that's what fueled him to you know, bring it upon himself to make some kind of difference.
Right, and you guys worked together before. You directed him in a film called Cesar Chavez.
That's
right.
correct.
Yeah,
So when you guys were working together on that film, did you guys already know you're going to work together in Narcos?
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking
we talked
about
it. We're like,
every
hey, in
day.
8
Is that the
years-
reason? Was that a casting coup then?
Yeah, you said, you know what, in 8 years, we should do Narcos.
Yeah.
Before even it came out.
We
would
were
be
working in Sonora, in the north of Mexico.
Hermosillo.
In Hermosillo, Sonora, and on a way that's really close to where where my character is from, where Felix is from, and we did experience Mexico, which I think it was very. I mean, we saved you a lot of money and time, I guess, because Michael and I were in the north of Mexico, in the fields of Mexico, where this story would have happened, you know, and recreating the 70s, which is the exact time where, you know, where this whole organization starts to grow, you know, and to. Yeah.
And back then, he was telling me what to do for 5 months. And then, you know, in this one, he was trying to tell me what to do for 8 months as a character.
Diego, also, you
No, he didn't land that one.
I understood it. I think it's okay.
I
In
got
print, it'll be good.
Diego, you also grew up in Mexico in the 80s. So in some way, this story is closer to home for you.
Yeah.
And it's more personal.
It is very personal. It is very personal also because it's the foundation of the mess we're living today. You know, what happened there in the 80s. And the case of Kiki Camarena it determines a lot on the relation between the States and Mexico. And I remember being in the 80s as a kid. I was 6 years old when this event happened. So I don't remember that. I guess my father was hiding this Mexico from, you know, for me, Mexico was something different. But then when the 90s came, I started having an opinion, worrying about the violence erupting, and understanding how crucial the 80s were and how crucial what happened here. This basically is the story of something that got built that for a few years worked fantastically and then just fell apart and fell into a way, and I'm talking about what's not in this season, like that fell into a way that today we are living horror over there.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the same. It's spiraled out of control, but this is where it started.
where everything started.
And eventually, Eric, you